They had like the kiss cam kind of thing that goes around that zeroed in on this one couple.
They don't even get caught if they're just both at the concert together. They only get caught because they're openly canoodling at the concert. It betrays a lack of respect for any sort of judgment, but also for a basic value system.
The CEO of a billion-dollar business is in damage control after his affair with a colleague was exposed, of all places, on Kiss Cam.
Now, a US tech company boss has been suspended. That's after a viral video appeared to show him hugging a woman at a Coldplay concert. Astronomer says that its chief executive, Andy Byron, has been put on leave, although the company stopped short of confirming if he is the one captured in the footage. The video, which appears to show Byron embracing the company's HR director, was shown on a giant screen at the concert in Boston.
Coldplay threw a couple on the Kiss Cam. Turns out they were having an affair? I don't think even Coldplay can fix this.
I feel like this isn't a good way, and if you're gonna get caught cheating, it shouldn't be like this.
Well, maybe he should have thought of that before he was cheating.
Kiss Cam is known for its heartwarming moments, but it caught an awkward one at a Coldplay concert. It zoomed in on a couple cuddling, but internet sleuths were quick to work out why they didn't want to be seen.
Don't cheat on your wife, that makes you a scumbag. Let's just start there, full stop. But if you want to be a retarded scumbag, then you can go cheat on your wife at a concert where you're liable to be put on a massive camera in front of everyone, tens of thousands of people here in Boston, watching this.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on, you're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. I'm not quite sure.
That's a Coldplay concert, and it is the most viral clip on the internet.
If you're gonna have an affair, why would you bring her to a concert in public where everybody can see you? What if you even ran into someone you knew? Who cares about the Jumbotron? What if you ran into someone you knew? Huh?
Forget the Epstein files. I want to see the text messages of that Astronomer CEO that got caught cheating at the Coldplay concert.
I would pay to be a fly on the wall in the office.
And this is pretty viral stuff. Or do we have to get HR involved? I mean, I know that HR was involved.
The moral of the story here is don't get caught on Kiss Cam. And the tidbit is that's not his wife.
And can we talk about the employee that was with them? She obviously knows what's going on because she's there.
But apparently, this couple will not be fans of Coldplay for long.
We've been on top of the Andy Byron saga since day one. The viral Coldplay Kiss Cam moment with Kristin Cabot, the abrupt exit from Astronomer, and the jaw-dropping $250,000 spent across OnlyFans creators. But here's the update. Those receipts we talked about, they're not just screenshots anymore. They're backed by multiple confirmations from inside the creator community, naming figures, dates, and even private call amounts. And while Byron's still trying to control the narrative, his silence isn't working because the internet's already writing the next chapter for him. When that 15-second clip from the Coldplay concert first hit social media, it looked like just another harmless Kiss Cam moment, until the internet realized that wasn't Andy Byron's wife sitting next to him. That was Kristin Cabot, Astronomer's chief people officer, who had only been in the role for 8 months. Within hours, the clip was everywhere. TikTok edits, slowed down Twitter replays, and meme pages overlaying Coldplay's Fix You at the exact moment Byron turned away from the camera. The timing couldn't have been worse. Astronomer was reportedly prepping for an IPO that analysts valued at close to $2 billion. Instead, by the next trading session, the company's stock dropped nearly 7%. Investors weren't just embarrassed, they were furious. Hedge funds began calling emergency board meetings, demanding answers about when leadership first knew about Byron's relationship with Cabot and whether company resources had been misused. Publicly, Astronomer announced Byron and Cabot were being placed on leave, pending an internal review. Behind the scenes, sources say the board was already preparing for a leadership change. Less than a week later, Byron resigned, and Pete DeJoy, the company's co-founder and CPO, stepped in as interim CEO.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on, you're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
But the Kiss Cam moment was just the tip of the iceberg. because in the days that followed, rumors started trickling out about Byron's online activity. Rumors that tied him not just to one creator, but to a spending spree that went well beyond casual subscriptions. And when those whispers reached the OnlyFans creator network, they didn't stay whispers for long. At first, the OnlyFans rumors felt like internet filler, half-baked speculation from comment sections trying to connect Byron's polished CEO image with a few blurry usernames. But then, a series of screenshots began making the rounds in private creator group chats. Payment logs, message timestamps, and profile data all pointed back to one account. And that account wasn't just spending pocket change. Insiders say the trail led straight to a so-called Finsta account, an alias linked to transactions totaling over $250,000 in just months. The purchases weren't generic subscriptions either. We're talking high-value private calls, custom requests, and VIP memberships stacked across multiple creators. And sitting at the top of that list, Sophie Rain, a rising creator who allegedly received around $40,000 for a single video call. What made the leak explosive wasn't just the numbers, it was the source. According to multiple reports, the screenshots were first sent to journalists by someone very close to Byron, his own wife, Megan. While she hasn't spoken publicly, industry reporters suggest Megan's decision to leak came after discovering the spending through shared financial accounts. Once Sophie's name hit the conversation, the narrative shifted fast. She didn't dodge the story. She addressed it head-on in interviews, confirming the payment and adding that she doesn't condone cheating, calling it the worst kind of betrayal. That single quote was enough to ignite mainstream coverage, dragging the OnlyFans angle from niche gossip into national headlines. Creators in the OnlyFans network, recognizing the scale of Byron's spending, started pooling receipts. Some even claimed to have seen him in private video chats.
Oh, she's talking to her friend. That's her friend.
She whips her back to the camera.
Yeah.
And he actually bends down to get out of like squatting to get out of the sight. Honestly, they should have listened to me. Look, well, he's really hugging her. It's tight.
Yeah, you just lean in. You have to lean in at that point.
Right?
And as each new piece of evidence surfaced, the $250,000 figure stopped sounding exaggerated. It started looking conservative. When Sophie Rain finally addressed the situation, she didn't waste time with vague statements or soft language. She confirmed what many had been whispering, that Andy Byron had indeed paid her tens of thousands for a private call, and then hit him with a line that would ricochet across social media. Cheating is the worst kind of betrayal, and I stand with Megan. That single quote became the headline. Outlets from business blogs to pop culture sites ran with it. And within hours, Sophie's name was trending alongside Byron's. But instead of shying away from the attention, Sophie leaned in. She went live on TikTok, talking about the culture of high-spending VIP clients, carefully skirting anything that violated platform rules, but making it clear she believed transparency mattered. And she wasn't alone. Camila Araujo, a Brazilian creator who runs the Bop House Collective in Fort Lauderdale, stepped in with her own claims. She told interviewers she had personally seen receipts confirming Byron's spending wasn't limited to Sophie. He'd spread that $250,000 across multiple creators, each request custom and each payment significant. Camila didn't stop there. She framed Byron's alleged hush money attempts, offers to delete logs in exchange for payouts, as proof of how some powerful clients believe they can control the narrative. That angle resonated online, especially with creators who saw the scandal as a chance to call out the double standard between corporate misconduct and platform accountability.
Oh, look at these two.
In a moment, these lovers won't ever forget.
Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
And one the world can't stop talking about.
I'm not quite sure what to do. Did we rumble you?
Kiss Cam at a Coldplay gig in Boston, and their reactions said it all. They had something to hide.
By this point, the story had shifted from a messy personal scandal to something larger, a collision between the closed-door world of Silicon Valley power and the creator economy's unspoken rules. The more Byron tried to contain it, the louder it got. While the internet kept dissecting every receipt and replaying the Coldplay Kiss Cam clip, Byron's legal team was facing a very different problem: California's divorce laws. In most places, a scandal this public, tied to this kind of spending, might spell a financial disaster in court. But California is a no-fault divorce state, meaning infidelity alone doesn't determine who gets what. On paper, That meant Byron could walk away without paying a cent more than what the standard division of assets required. But there was a catch. If Meghan's lawyers could prove that some of the $250,000 came from marital funds, not personal income, that changed everything. Suddenly, they could argue for reimbursement, larger settlements, or even damages tied to reputational harm. And Meghan wasn't exactly lawyering up quietly. According to industry insiders, she'd already retained one of Silicon Valley's most aggressive divorce attorneys, someone known for extracting record-breaking settlements from high-net-worth tech founders. Sources close to the couple hinted the target was at least $35 million in property division, plus possible additional claims tied to the public nature of the scandal. Then came the curveball. Rumors began circulating that Meghan's legal team was exploring something almost unheard of. A potential case not just against Byron, but against Astronomer's board. The argument? That leadership failed to act on red flags, allowing Byron's conduct to go unchecked.
I hope we didn't do something bad.
Chris Martin knew it, the internet did too.
Which in turn caused Meghan emotional distress on a global scale. If successful, it could set a precedent, holding a company financially responsible for a CEO's personal scandal. And in an industry where public image is currency, that kind of case would send shockwaves. While Meghan's legal team worked quietly, Astronomer's boardroom was in full-blown crisis mode. The Kiss Cam clip had been embarrassing, but the $250,000 spending revelations were catastrophic. For investors, this wasn't just bad press. It was a potential threat to their money. In the days after the scandal broke, Astronomer's stock took a sharp hit, sliding nearly 7% in just a few trading sessions. Venture capital partners and hedge funds began flooding the board with urgent calls, demanding to know exactly when leadership learned about Byron's behavior, whether company funds were ever used, and why no preventative action had been taken. It didn't help that the timing was disastrous. Astronomer had been gearing up for a highly anticipated IPO. Analysts were predicting a valuation of around $2 billion. But within a week of the scandal going public, those plans were effectively dead. The phrase, Astronomer's IPO killed by CEO's OnlyFans addiction, wasn't just clickbait. It was an actual headline. Behind closed doors, board members weren't just worried about PR. There were whispers of potential legal action from investors, citing negligence, malpractice, and failure to maintain internal controls. Legal experts warned that even if Byron had used his own money for OnlyFans, the company could still be exposed if it was proven he violated internal ethics policies without consequence.
It's time to kiss it goodbye. Baseball is probably not the only thing you can say that about.
Emergency meetings turned tense as factions formed, some arguing for a swift public distancing from Byron, others fearing that cutting ties too aggressively could make them look guilty by association. Meanwhile, interim CEO Pete DeJoy was left trying to reassure staff and customers that the company's future wasn't in jeopardy. But the truth was, Astronomer wasn't just dealing with a leadership scandal, it was staring down a perfect storm of public backlash, investor distrust, and legal uncertainty. And every new meme or leaked receipt online made the situation harder to contain. If the boardroom was brutal, the internet was merciless. What started as a 15-second kiss cam moment had now evolved into one of the year's most viral takedowns, and Andy Byron was the unwilling poster child. TikTok creators wasted no time. The shy or cheating challenge had couples reenacting the awkward Coldplay moment, complete with nervous glances and poorly timed laughs. Another trend overlaid Coldplay's Fix You onto slow-motion zooms of Byron's face from the stadium screen, timed perfectly to the instant his public image imploded. Financial satire channels joined in, breaking down his $250,000 spending spree like they were reporting stock market movements. One viral YouTube video, Andy Byron's portfolio, 100% in bad decisions, racked up millions of views within days. Even the creators at the heart of the story saw a spike in attention. Sophie Rain doubled her subscriber count in 48 hours, while Camila Araujo launched a trending YouTube series called Receipts and Red Flags, detailing how high-spending clients operate behind closed doors. Mainstream media piled on. Late-night hosts roasted Byron nightly, turning him into a recurring punchline.
I think that the actual star of this story, though, is Chris Martin, who decides, given an opportunity here, to let these people off the hook and just let the camera move along, to suggest explicitly that these people are either having an affair I mean, seriously? You just throw the fans under the bus who paid their hard-earned money for these tickets?
Well, good call from the lead man there, because it turns out that they were, in fact, probably having an affair.
Business podcasts use the saga as a cautionary tale about power, ego, and the illusion of privacy in the digital age. The court of public opinion wasn't just against him, it was actively turning him into a meme template for corporate recklessness. And that's the thing about the meme economy. It doesn't wait for trials or settlements. Once your image becomes shorthand for bad decisions, there's no putting the genie back in the bottle. Every awkward still frame, every leaked transaction, every quote from a creator became another layer in the digital scrapbook of Byron's downfall. While the internet roasted Andy Byron and Astronomer scrambled to hold on to investor trust, one person stayed completely silent: his wife, Megan. No interviews, no cryptic social media posts, no sudden public appearances. To casual observers, it looked like she was simply avoiding the spotlight. But behind the scenes, that silence was anything but passive. Multiple sources confirmed Megan had already retained one of Silicon Valley's most feared divorce attorneys, a lawyer with a track record of securing massive settlements from high-net-worth tech founders. The reported goal? At least $35 million in property division, with the possibility of pushing for more if she could tie the spending spree directly to marital funds. Her strategy was clear: let the public outrage do its work while she prepared a case that could dismantle what was left of Byron's personal fortune. And she wasn't stopping at divorce court. Insiders say Megan's legal team was quietly exploring a potential lawsuit against Astronomer itself, arguing that the company's leadership failed to act on warning signs, enabling Byron's misconduct and inflicting public humiliation on a global scale. If that move succeeded, it would be groundbreaking, the first time a CEO's spouse held a corporation financially liable for personal misconduct. And Megan had one major advantage: public opinion was already firmly on her side. Online forums called her a master strategist. Memes portrayed her as a chess player patiently waiting for the perfect checkmate. In a scandal where almost everyone else had spoken, tweeted, or gone live, Megan's refusal to say a word only amplified her perceived power. Every day she stayed quiet, speculation grew about when and how she would make her move. In less than a month, Andy Byron went from a polished tech CEO preparing to take his company public to the face of one of the most humiliating corporate downfalls in recent memory. A Coldplay Kiss Cam moment with Kristin Cabot set off the first spark, but it was the $250,000 digital trail that turned embarrassment into a full-blown implosion. The receipts linked him to multiple creators, including Sophie Rain and Camila Araujo, both of whom refused to stay quiet when Byron allegedly tried to erase the evidence. Investor confidence collapsed. Astronomer's IPO dreams turned to dust, and the board found itself battling both a PR disaster and potential legal exposure. Meanwhile, meme culture made sure Byron's story would live on far beyond the news cycle, cementing him as a shorthand for bad judgment in the age of instant virality. The louder the internet mocked him, the harder it became to picture a comeback. And then there's Megan Byron, the one person who never gave a public statement but may end up winning the biggest victory of all. With public sympathy behind her and a high-powered legal team in her corner, she's positioned to walk away with millions, and possibly make legal history if her team moves against Astronomer itself. In the end, this isn't just a story about one CEO's personal choices. It's a reminder that in a world where every moment can be recorded, every transaction leaves a trail, and every private vice can become public property, no amount of money or influence can shield you from the court of public opinion. For Andy Byron, that court has already delivered its verdict: loud, viral, and permanent.